Have you ever felt like you're drowning in emotions that aren't even yours? You walk into a room, and suddenly your chest feels heavy, your heart races, and you don't even know why. People tell you it's a gift, that you're special, that you're an empath. But Carl Jung would tell you something very different. He would tell you, this isn't a gift at all, it's a trap. Right now, in a world overflowing with anxiety and narcissism, empaths are carrying the heaviest burden. But here's the truth you need to hear. The pain you feel, this overwhelming sensitivity, it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. And by the end of this video, you'll see why you were never born to heal by absorbing pain. You were born to awaken consciousness itself. The relationship between a narcissist and an empath isn't random. It feels almost destined, like something deep in the unconscious has pulled them together. The empath is naturally open and sensitive. They feel everything. The narcissist is like a broken mirror. They don't reflect truth, they twist it. They bend reality to feed a hunger that can never be satisfied. When these two meet, it feels like fate. Compassion meets endless need. Light meets shadow. But eventually, something changes. The empath starts to wake up. They begin recognizing the patterns, the games, and most importantly, they start understanding the narcissist's hidden language. This isn't about words. It's about energy, tone, silence, and symbols. The narcissist's real language is written in old wounds, buried shame and fear that they've covered with charm and manipulation. When the empath learns this hidden language, everything shifts. Suddenly, the empath isn't lost in confusion anymore. They're awake inside the nightmare. They see the narcissist's tactics for what they really are. They hear what isn't being said. They notice the pauses, the look in their eyes, how their voice changes when truth gets too close. It's like finally learning to read the stars. The patterns were always there, now they can see them. For the narcissist, this is terrifying. Their survival depends on controlling how others see them. When the empath mirrors back the wound beneath the mask, the narcissist feels completely exposed. They might tighten their control, trying harder to dominate through charm, guilt, or rage. But now the empath doesn't react the same way. The old tricks don't work anymore. This is a turning point. But Jung would warn, to understand the shadow is to risk becoming it. If the empath starts enjoying this power, using it for control, they risk becoming what they once feared. The real work is different. Hold this knowledge without being consumed by it. Understand the shadow, but stay rooted in yourself. Because here's the truth, the empath isn't innocent either. Their need to give endlessly often comes from their own wound. Fear of abandonment, a need to be needed, a belief that love must be earned through sacrifice. To really understand the narcissist, the empath must face themselves first. They have to ask, why was I drawn into this? What part of me needed this dance? This is where real transformation begins. The empath realizes the narcissist wasn't just destroying them, they were also a mirror, forcing them to reclaim their voice, their boundaries, and their strength. By learning the narcissist's language, the empath learns to understand their own shadow too. Once this shift happens, everything changes. The narcissist feels it immediately. It's like the strings they used to pull just don't work anymore. The old tactics, rage, charm, guilt, and silent treatment fall flat. The empath sees the game and stops playing. This quiet detachment terrifies the narcissist more than anger ever could. But this awakening brings deeper responsibility. Silence becomes the empath's strongest tool. Real silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's refusing to play the old game of control and submission. And to the narcissist, silence is unbearable because it means their power is gone. Here's the true transformation of the empath, turning suffering into wisdom. The goal isn't to change the narcissist, that's their choice alone. The goal is to step fully into your power, to reclaim yourself. As Jung said, The greatest privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The narcissist might call this abandonment. They'll say you're cold, distant, and unfeeling. But this isn't about revenge. It isn't about winning. It's about awakening. The empath is no longer bound by the illusion. They see the narcissist clearly, both the mask and the scared child underneath, and remain whole within themselves. Dreams often show this transformation. You might dream of a cage opening, taking off a heavy coat, or watching someone fade into the distance. These are symbols of freedom. They show the narcissist no longer controls your inner world. The spell is broken. But the empath must be careful. Once you speak the language of the shadow, it's tempting to use it for manipulation. But that path leads back into the maze. Real mastery is understanding without getting tangled up. Seeing clearly without trying to control. Knowing your freedom isn't about dominating others, it's about not being dominated yourself. When the narcissist realizes the empath has learned their language, it shakes them to their core. They feel something they can't explain. For the first time, their tricks don't work. In rare cases, they might glimpse their truth. Whether they change or not isn't the empath's burden. The empath's work is internal, taking care of their soul, recognizing that the narcissist was, in a strange way, a teacher showing them both their wounds and their strength. What once drained them has now built resilience, clarity, and wholeness. This is what Jung called individuation, becoming complete. By walking through the darkness, the empath found themselves, and in that discovery lies ultimate freedom. The game is over. The contract is broken. The mask has no power anymore. The empath is free. So if you've ever wondered why you kept attracting the same painful patterns, this is why. You weren't cursed. You weren't broken. You were being shown the map of your own soul. And once you learn the language of the shadow, you can never unlearn it. The narcissist may never change, but you walk away transformed, stronger, clearer, finally whole. Because in the end, you were never born to simply heal others. You were born to awaken consciousness itself. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, not just for more content, but to join a growing space where truth, healing, and self-discovery matter. This is Psyche Thera, and your journey is just beginning.